Guys, normally you should always fertilize. Make sure you're killing the weeds. I mean, that's the next step in our gardening phase. As well as the next phase is like figuring out what we want to plant in this island over here. But Miracle Grow has proven very beneficial to us. It really does well for, I believe it's a nitrogen or pH level. It's one of the other. I have to really get into reading what exactly it does, but it really does grow everything. I mean, grass can be very beneficial if you have an irrigation system. But if you don't have an irrigation system, you can always on a weekly basis, like maybe 2 or 3 times a week, if you have hoses set up around your house. Like I have this hose over here, I have another hose on the other side of the house, and I have another hose in the back. You can set them up with attachments and just set them around the house, and you would have to just take care of moving them around so everything gets even spread of water. But you know, grass will look a lot better, green luscious grass, if you water it constantly. But like I always suggest an irrigation system, so you can just set it and forget it, with a water well pump. And it's pretty easy to install. It doesn't cost that much. I do the installations myself as well for irrigation. So and I know a little bit about plants since I'm getting into this now as well, so I can always recommend like what zone we're in, depending on, because this is Florida, so you can always look that stuff up. But it's always nice to have recommendations from someone that's kind of a bit knowledgeable in this area. So these palms have grown quite significantly since we moved them from where they once were over there, uh, where the fountain that we created, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. Um, so these plumerias, they don't, not plumerias. Yeah, these are plumerias. These plumerias, they Florida native, more or less. They don't really need that much water, but they do appreciate the growth from Miracle Grow, as well as the palm tree. I mean, you can tell right there it has gone from where it's kind of brown to the new green growth. It's grown that much. So they're growing pretty well. It's not a big palm tree. We don't want something really huge for the front of the house. So we'll probably add some bigger palm trees over there, just to kind of like something like that over there. Some plants that we have out here, we're just trying to cure and feed so we can bring them inside. These two over here, we're gonna bring them to the inside, looking for nice pots right currently, so that we can decorate the inside with some, natural plants. As you can see, they don't really do that well in the sun, as they're getting some bleach or sunburns, as well as these elephant ears over here. Wait, I'm just gonna go ahead and water these. So these elephant ears, there are elephant ears that do very well in the sun, like these, and you don't necessarily have to hit the roots. I mean, like most people know that plants on a common basis know that if you just hit the leaves will serve as a spoon to get to the roots, and you can see some new growth happening. I mean, these have been really, since we planted them, they've been doing very well. As well as the agave. Agave are air plants, basically. They don't need that much water, but regardless, I still water them since they're part of this ecosystem that we've created. The front row here are also air plants. And you can tell what air plants are by the thickness of their leaves. So they don't require that much water, so we just lightly, water them. The ones in green and these over here, everything basically in the red mulch. We purposely did red mulch for anything that needs a lot of water, so that we know that we have to water them a little bit more than everything else. As well as these purple flowers over here. I forgot the name right now, but those aren't air plants. The yellow ones are, the red ones over here, and the yellow mixture bouquet we have, they are air plants and they don't need that much water. Adding rocks is very decorative, but you need to know how to install this because you need to know that you can't overcrowd the flowers, and then you will be able to tell like what flowers are overcrowded and they're not really getting that much water, and what are, you know. You can tell like the red ones there versus the yellow ones are doing a lot better because of the way the rock placement is and how much available dirt space we left for them. So we're trying to keep these. This is more of a trial run for us. We might switch this in the future, but for right now we're trying to see if these do well. If not, we'll switch them out and do something else. The greens over here, they're really Lorope, and they're just for coverage, just to make the surrounding property look nice. They don't grow that tall, maybe 18 to 22 inches. Lorope do provide very good coverage, and you can still see I'm still watering with Miracle-Gro. The way how this works is this: you pour the powder here, this fills up with water, and then you can tell kind of that the blue, well not on video, but you can tell, I can tell right now that it's the water is a little bit bluer than usual. So, and I'll probably go around the whole house spraying this because I'm just testing how well this works on a weekly basis. Basically, you can do Miracle-Gro every 7 to 14 days. I'm doing it every 7 days right now, just to see how it goes, and then if doesn't, you know, if I'll try as well as 14 days later on to see how that goes. But for right now, since this is all fairly new, I just want to make sure that it's cared for. Most of the plants here are, almost all of them actually, are air plants. You can tell how thick they are right there. Except these, the red ones are snapdragons. We want just to add some color into this, so we added some snapdragons. So we water, but try not to drown the plant. So maybe 3 to 5 seconds of water, since this is a flower pot. And that's basically it. They probably won't see any more water for a good while, for maybe another week or so. That's pretty much it. Grass, take care of it, water it, fertilize it. You can set, I've heard rumors that you can also set topsoil very evenly distributed and then just water it, and that will definitely help your grass ecosystem work. You do have to take care of the red ant situation because they do bury holes. I mean, that's what happened here. They basically killed our grass because a big, huge ant pile grew right there. So you do have to take care of that. And then for the weeds as well, you do have to take care of them. We do have several plots of weeds. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys can see that very tall one over there. Let me see if I can zoom in. I'll probably go over there. So there's a very tall weed, almost looks like a tree over there. And then, you know, but you need to take care of that with the right products. So that's basically it. And then I'm gonna take you to the last group of plants. I mean, this is a hanging wall plant. Let me zoom out. So you can definitely do some hanging plants as well. They're blooming once again. They've bloomed since we've had them up there, maybe 3 times in the last 4 weeks. And they look very nice. You have to trim your dead plants, obviously. I mean, we're not doing that as much here because these plants, we're gonna have to transfer them inside. They're kind of under coverage, but they need to be under coverage all the time. And in the mornings, since we're east facing, right? The coast is that way. They're getting that morning sunlight. So from 8 to 1, more or less, they're under sun. And that's no good. You know, they need to have very little sunlight in order to bloom very nicely. But these grow very well, decorate the inside of the house or inside patio, screened area very nicely as there is shade for those morning and afternoon hours. I just want to make sure you can not drown your plants, but feed them. And that's basically it. That's basically what we do on a weekly basis. Just water and let Mother Nature take care of itself. And guys, we also do pavers. We're not really necessarily done with this. We have to still install and paint them, but we do landscape lighting. As you can see there, that's the timer, and that's a photo sensor over there for light. And then the lights turn on when the sun goes out, as well as the pump is on a timer. We have a smart timer down there where this light is coming up. We did this all ourselves. We ran the electricity, we installed the low voltage lighting, ran the cables, did all the landscaping. So far it looks very nice. We're very happy with the outcome. We're going to continue doing more stuff. So we're just going to keep walking this way so we can get some more grass with a little bit more water, but that's basically it. We're not going to do that much today. We got some work we need to do for our local church that we're gonna do some lighting for, some electrical recess lighting, but you guys will see more of that and later on today. So that's basically it. All right guys, it was such a pleasure. Thank you again. My name is Alex with 911 Handyman, and have a great rest of your day.